Hi there, this is Magna. So I'm going to go through a quick demonstration of how I set up OBS and Voicemeeter Banana to work across two different systems. The one I'm currently showing is my gaming system. And I have Voicemeeter Banana up here and OBS Studio off to the side. In Voicemeeter Banana, there are 5 inputs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 outputs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there are 3 hardware outputs, and these 2 are software outputs, B1 and B2. As you can see right now, my microphone is an audio input is going to a virtual output, and the virtual output is actually this thing called V-Band, which is the Voicemeeter Banana audio network. And V-Band, let's see if I can get this here. If V-Band is set up properly, then what you end up with is this B1, right, is saying we have a bus B1 that is going to send out a stream called mic to this IP address, which is the IP address of my other computer. You can see my computer's IP address is up here at 10.12.24. And the green indicates that we're actually sending something out right now. There's also a VR stream, which is A3. That is this one right here. And any audio that comes out of here is going to get sent over to my streaming rig as well. So typically my video game or whatever is going to generate the sound that isn't my mic will go into here. For each of the inputs, whether they're virtual or whether they're actual, you can choose which audio output they go to. For example, I can send this to B1 and I can send it to A3. Now you can see my voice is going to both, but it also means it's going to be echoing likely. So I will turn off the stream out and be back to just my mic. Naturally, you can mute, you can go solo. These are just regular commands. You can play with the gain, all sorts of compression, gate, that kind of stuff. But equalizer up here. That's not the point here. This is actually software. So this is a hardware microphone. It's connected to USB. You click up here to choose what you want. I've chosen my microphone. They tell you that WDM is preferred over MME, but I had lots of problems with WDM, so I picked MME, and it works a lot better. Honestly, I don't know what the difference is between these two or KS, so I just find one that works and go with it. You can edit the name, as a tutorial I'd mentioned. For Pretzel, I chose the cable output, which is a Voicemeeter provides a virtual cable as well. You get one for free, but if you donate some money, you can get a second one. And I think you can get up to 3 or 5 or something like that if you pay for it. I only needed one because what I wanted was Pretzel Rocks, which is this application here that I use for the streaming of my music. I start playing, and I have Pretzel sent out. Now I can adjust Pretzel's volume down because it's a little too loud, perhaps, and I want to be able to talk over it. But I have it sending to not only my headphones, but also the stream. And as you'll see on the other side, the stream audio, anything going out, these two will show up on the other side. I'll pause that for now. We don't really need it. This input happens to be my desktop audio from the other machine. For the most part, I don't use it, so I'll probably leave it on mute. But if I needed to hear something from the other machine, say on I send it to my headphones. So if I want to hear some system alert going off there while I'm in game, it will send it to my audio, and I'll be like, something's breaking. All right, my system down here is I've selected the Voicemeeter input, right? Instead of my speakers, which I normally would pick, or any of these other inputs, I choose Voicemeeter input. I could alternately choose Voicemeter aux input, which is this second column, but I just go by convention. Voicemeter input is the desktop audio, and if I change this, it makes sound, right, and sends it to my audio, as you can see over here. And then lastly, Steamvr. Inside of Steam, specifically for virtual reality, I can split the audio. I can have the audio go to two different outputs, and that's very fortunate. I have the main audio go to Steamvr, and then I have a duplicate go to my Rift headphones so that I can hear the in-game sounds in real time. And then my desktop speaker, this is output, right? So if I want something to go to my desktop speakers, or to my desktop system rather, I would send it to A1. Right now there's nothing going there, no need to. These are my, you can choose your output here. So I've chosen my speakers. If I wanted to send my voice, say, to my desktop speakers, I could choose A1, and now I hear my voice coming back at me from my speakers. And you know, likewise for the Rift S, I've chosen, well, my a different audio device at the moment. Normally it's my Rift headphones. And then A3 is not actually selected. I don't have a device selection for A because I'm, oh, did I just screw that up? No, I don't have anything going to stream, right? A3. Yeah, if I send something to stream, it would go up. A3 is currently set up with this outgoing stream here, so I don't need a hardware device to send it out to. I'm sending it out over the network. So that's the audio portion of my gaming system. If we come over to OBS, I have all of my scenes set up for, you know, pre-stream when the game's over, if I'm switching games or standing by or capturing games of various different ways, and I have the scenes laid out, right? Here is where I'm going to do all the control. I'm going to switch scenes. I'm going to make things, you know, set up my overlays and all this other junk, and do my transitions, right? I want to transition between the inputs, right? And on the right here, I can do full screen projector, which means I'm going to send, well, I can't at the moment because I'm sharing, because I'm mirroring screens, and I'll show you that. Well, that's how I'm capturing this actually. But if I stop mirroring the screens, then I will have a second display here, which is my video capture card, and I'll show you that in a second. You will stop seeing this, and you will start seeing the video card, unfortunately. So just take my word that when you have a separate monitor that is not being duplicated, you will see it here. I could do a full screen projector of the current screen, right? But that's not terribly helpful. It just sends this to whatever monitor in a full screen device, which is why it's so useful for a capture card. You just say, all right, whatever's in this window, send straight out to the capture card full screen. That way you can control everything your stream will view from OBS here. And then the other machine is simply really just like a start streaming and a stop streaming button. Not much else to it. But while you control it here, this isn't doing any encoding. It's simply sending the video data straight over your network to the other machine, and that machine will do all the work of encoding, which is the entire purpose about offloading your streaming rig to another machine, so you don't waste all the CPU and memory that it takes to encode and decode stuff. Okay, so the next step will be to change my display back to extend displays, keep my changes. Now you see, what you see actually is my capture card's default view, which is basically just my desktop. If I move my mouse down here, you can see me. Hello, I'm a mouse on the Elgato capture card. But that's not interesting. Who cares? So, more or less. All right, so I'll drag it to there. And if I right-click on here and say full screen, now you can see I have the Elgato card. Is the other option. So if I do that, all of a sudden now you're seeing everything on my stream as output by OBS, which is great. And that's pretty much the setup of the gaming rig. Right? Everybody's happy. It's wonderful. But now what? What about the streaming rig? So here we switch over to the streaming rig, and what you can see, I apologize for the vertical layout. I have a 22-inch monitor turned in portrait because it's easier to keep track of stuff and fit in the space I have. On the streaming rig, we have Voicemeeter and OBS again. Voicemeeter, as you can see, my VR mic is recording. It's getting information. I have not selected any hardware inputs for any of these because the VR mic and the VR stream are coming in from V-band. The incoming stream mic is from 224, which is my other computer. This one's 230, and VR stream is 224 as well. We do send out the streaming, we do send out the desktop sounds from this machine to the remote one. So if I need to hear something, I can, hear these sounds from this machine go across. Now you could hear those just right now because I happen to be sending the system out to B2, which is an OBS mic 2, which I'll get to in a second. If I turn that off, I will still hear the sounds because they're sent over the network, but you will no longer hear them in OBS, as you can see. So these two are in from the network, from the gaming machine. This one I'm not using, so I'm just muting it. These are my system sounds. They are going out to the stream. Sorry, they're going out to system out, which is the other computer, the gaming computer, so I can hear them. And I used to have Pretzel, but this is actually unused. So we're just going to rename it there. Unused. And move it down to 0 just to make sure we don't have to pick anything. Then as far as outputs are concerned, I'm not using the hardware 1 output. The hardware 2 output is also not used because that is going out over the network, or it used to. Again, this is, whoops, I'm going to say unused. Actually, we could probably just delete that and shoop, get rid of that, mute it. A3 is system out. That's where this is going to go. All the system sounds will go out to the other computer. OBS mic 1, this is a virtual output that is going into OBS, and I'll show you that in a second. And OBS mic 2 is also a virtual output that goes into OBS, and that will get the stream sounds. So if I make some sound on my computer, on my gaming computer rather, and I send it out to the correct output, now you hear it. And this is coming from my other system, and it comes in on the VR stream and goes out to the OBS mic 2, which shows up in OBS and goes out to my stream. That tutorial, I'll put a link to a very simple tutorial on mapping the ins and outs of Voicemeeter Banana, the video tutorial that was incredibly helpful for me to understand how it works so that I could get this setup working correctly. All right, so that's the basics, of the audio portion. Then we go to OBS, and right now I'm on a desktop scene, so I'm sharing this desktop. This scene has my VR stream, my VR mic. It has the, I added the capture card just so I could show you the properties of the capture card. I deactivate it when it's not showing. This is what my capture is currently seeing as opposed to the desktop. That is what I'm sending from the other machine from OBS. And you can configure the video and stuff specific to your capture card. You can also go in and fiddle with all this other stuff, but that's beyond the scope of this particular tutorial. And then my display capture is the current view. So the audio mixer will show me that you're getting audio, and when we do have stream sounds from the gaming machine, you will see that as well. Right? And you can add your own filters here. I have added filters, compressor, noise gate, equalizer, limiter to help clean up my voice in OBS. You could probably do that in Voicemeeter Banana as well. It's really up to you. I prefer the OBS approach because I'm familiar with it, but you know, it's very likely that Voicemeeter is even more powerful. If, on the other hand, I wanted to show you what the stream looks like, I can switch over to the Game On scene. And now, in a moment, you will see what the stream sees. Right? If I now go back over to my OBS and I transition to another, I'm switching games, or please stand by, we're having technical difficulties, or thanks for playing, game is over, then that's what the stream sees. And of course, any audio that is set up here and showing in the audio mixer will also go out to your stream or recording, as the case might be. Back in OBS here, we have settings, and under audio, there are global audio devices. The other tutorial that I will link in the description below sets the auxiliary audio and mic auxiliary 2 to the Voicemeeter Banana outputs. I found that these are global devices in every scene, and in some scenes I don't necessarily want all that stuff. So I disable all of these. I set a Voicemeeter input, which is my system information for monitoring, to be able to hear what the stream is hearing, and that just sends it back out to the other machine into my headset. But as far as global audio devices are concerned, I have none. What I do is, in a particular scene, I set up the specific audio devices to use Voicemeeter aux out for the stream, or Voicemeeter out for the mic. Now, this can be very confusing, right? Inputs, outputs, outputs, inputs. This is an input device, a mic, but it's set to Voicemeeter output. And if I added an audio output capture, then I might choose Voicemeeter input or aux input. And all of a sudden, your output capture device is an input device. It's all from the perspective of the software you're in. Right? So if you're in Voicemeeter, audio that's coming in is an input, and audio that's leaving Voicemeeter is an output. But it leaves Voicemeeter and enters OBS. So inputs such as mic and stream are the outputs from Voicemeeter. And outputs from OBS, they go back into Voicemeeter for whatever reason, come in as inputs. Now, you may not have any audio outputs. I don't, for example, typically have anything. I just have the audio coming from Voicemeeter into OBS, and then it sends it out to the stream. And that's pretty much it. There's not a whole lot else here. You can use the OBS on your streaming machine to set up and control all of your stream if you'd like. So you can manage all your stuff here. I manage it from the gaming machine because I need to control it from the gaming machine within VR. But that's entirely up to you. The audio also up to you. You can use all the audio filters and what have you inside of OBS, or you can use Voicemeeter Banana on the streaming machine, or you can do all the audio manipulation over an OBS or Voicemeeter on your gaming machine. It really is up to you on where you want to do the work. You just need to make sure that the audio inputs and outputs are connected to each other in the correct order in order for that crisp, beautiful sound that you've just engineered to go out to your stream so that everybody else can enjoy it. So that pretty much does it for this tutorial. I hope you found it useful. If you would like to watch it in action and see me play some virtual reality games, head on over to my Twitch. The link is in the description. I don't have much else in the way of tutorials, but if there is something you'd like to know about, drop a comment and I will consider doing it again, or doing something again. And of course, if you have any questions, also put in the comments and I will address them if I can, or try and direct you to someone who can address them. As always, Google is your friend too. So, thanks for watching. I hope it's been helpful.